out here after 30 years, yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Hey, shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound. We back. Much love, much respect. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Prison stories, man, we rolling. I got a good one for y'all today, a real good one. This one right here, this one can probably last a whole lot of series, because today, as y'all can probably tell by the title, I'm going to talk about my longest lasting friend, brother, you know, in prison, Mr. Leroy Dixon. Salute. Yeah, you know, the adventures that me and him had, I could probably do, you know, YouTube on this for probably about a year straight, man. You know, with a story every other day or something. Yeah, we became good friends, man, like brothers, man, and we went through a whole lot of situations together. But before I get into some of them, man, I'm gonna need y'all to help me out. I need y'all to hit that like button. I need y'all to take time to check and see if you have subscribed yet. If you have not subscribed, you know, take time and subscribe to this channel. Help grow this channel. Help get this channel up in numbers so we can reach more people far and wide. You know, like the video. Comment on the video. If you like it or dislike it, just comment on the video. Talk to me. Y'all know I talk back. You know, we trying to build up this algorithm and build up this numbers, because they tell me the more it builds up in the algorithm, the more it spreads around, the more people get to see it, the content get more exposure. If it get more exposure, we get more positive energy out in the world, and that's what I'm trying to do, trying to reach more people, a broader audience. So help me out and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, make a comment, and let's keep this thing moving, man. Appreciate y'all out there. Now, I don't even know, I can't even tell you where I'm going to start with this. I don't even know where to start. I guess I'm going to start. So I met Dixon way back in, man, you talking 89, 88, you know. So you talking, I'm just starting. I went to prison in 87, you know. So that's how long I've known this brother, you know, my brother. But I can remember when we first met each other, it wasn't on good terms, you know. It wasn't on good terms. Let me describe him to you anyway. He's a slim dude, real slim, especially back then, you know, slim cat. He kind of like leaned over, kind of like hunched over. But man, the man had a mean basketball game. He had one of the best basketball games on the compound. You know, always on every compound I've been on with him, which was several different institutions, he always was in the top 10 basketball players on the compound. That's how good his game was. Coincidentally, so was his co-defender. Shout out Carl. But yeah, so we had a mean basketball game, and that's where we was in the pod together, but we really won't socialize like that, but because we weren't in there together that long. But he played basketball, and at the time I played basketball too. Now, I wasn't as good as him, not even close, you know, which pains me to say, but it's true. But yeah, so I was pretty good. I was all right. So that tell you he was really, really good. And I can remember that we first clashed right there on that basketball court, which a whole lot of people do. That's where a whole lot of beef start. That's where a whole lot of people lose their life. That's where a whole lot of people lose their teeth. That's where a whole lot of people get, you know, scars forever on that basketball court in the penitentiary, you know. And I can remember I was on one team, he was on the other team, and I think it was something like his team was winning or my team was winning, but dudes was arguing or whatever. And one thing about Dixon, you know, he ain't shy. He ain't shy at all. He little, but he ain't shy because he got a big heart. And he gonna do whatever. He most definitely not gonna let you hurt him. By any means necessary, he not gonna let you hurt him. So something was going on or whatever, but he addressed the issue, you know what I'm saying? He said something, but he said a broad statement like, you know, he ain't put no name to it. He was like, man, y'all dudes suckers, man. You know, something to that effect. And, you know, nobody on my team saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, who you talking to, you know? So he was like, what you say? I said, who you talking to, man? You need to call a name. You say some stuff like that. I'm on this team too. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, all right, okay, y'all. All right. So I'm like, yeah, you know. So boom, he leave it alone. And I go on back to the building. We in the same block, same pod. So he come pull up on me later on. I'm in the cell with a homeboy, you know, he the homie too. You know, I'm from DC, Dixon from Alexandria. So all us in the same car. You know, DC, Alexandria, Maryland. We in the same car, you know, so, and there's few of us, you know, very few. So he was like, man, hey, shorty, man, what was that, man? What you mean by that, man? I'm saying something to them. I wasn't even talking to you, and, you know, and I'm like, man, I spoke up because I ain't like the statement. Just because them dudes suckers don't mean I'm a sucker. They ain't say nothing. I said something to let it be known for anybody else who got their ears in the cornfield. I ain't one of them, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, yeah, man, you know, we came to some type of understanding. He respected that. I respected the fact that he was man enough to say what he said and wasn't really worried about the consequences. And I guess he respected the fact that I was man enough to speak up for me and I wasn't worried about the consequences, you know? So that's how our friendship, brotherhood started, right there. It'd be something that small that could create a bond for life, or it could be something that small that could take a life. Those, you know what I'm saying, are the Oxford morons in the contradictions of prison. You know, something can go left, something can go right. It's just minute of what it would take to tilt it to either side, which is crazy in itself. But fortunately for me and him, it tilted in the side of us becoming, you know, lifelong brothers, you know. After that, we started to socialize more, you know, play ball together, kick it together in the pod, you know, eat meals together, talk about different things about on the street, you know, where we been before, have you been there, you know, stuff like that. And we just, you know, started building our brotherhood, and we got closer and closer. And eventually, somewhere down the line, somebody's cell came open, and we ended up getting traded and getting in the cell together. So we was in the cell together, and that even created even a stronger bond, you know what I'm saying, between both of us by us being in the cell together. And after that, man, it wasn't long after that, man, it was like he was my brother, man, you know, and it was known that, you know, you got a problem with him, you got a problem with me. And vice versa, you know, it was just understood, you know, and that's how we carried it for the rest of our bit. You know, if you had a problem with Dixon, you had a problem with me, and vice versa. And I think eventually everybody who knew us and was on compounds with us, they understood that off the top. And mostly, like I say, Dixon stayed on that basketball court, so he had a lot of problems on that basketball court. Because dudes get on that basketball court and lose their mind, man. They lose their mind. They say anything out their mouth, and it just becomes some crazy situations dealing with that basketball court, which I can think of a lot of situations with me and him dealing with that basketball court. I can remember off the top of my head being over there in the gym, hitting on the heavy bag, working the heavy bag and stuff, working out, give me a good sweat, and he on the basketball court playing 5-on-5 basketball, and I could hear him in little arguments or little back and forth with dudes and stuff like that. And I can remember several incidents, but one in particular just pops in my mind as I'm telling this set the example of the type of brotherhood and friendship we ended up having. I can remember him arguing and the words was just too loud for me. And I'm always a little bit more overprotective for people that's cool with me than I am more so myself. So I can remember him arguing with a dude on the court, and the dude he was arguing with, brother was in there as well, playing on the same opposite team that he was arguing with. So I can just remember the words being heard back and forth, and I remember the brother chiming in and just saying a little something. I can remember taking the gloves off and walking straight across the court. Straight across the court in the middle of the game as the game is being, you know, still played and they chirping at each other. And I walked right in there, interrupted the game and everything, and walked up to him and asked him what the problem was. You know, and I knew the dude and his brother as well as Dixon did. But at this time now, it's time to pick sides because something might get ready to happen. So I'm letting them know emphatically, even though we cool, this is a whole another different level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what's up? And they like, what's up? Man, I'm like, y'all arguing with my brother. I'm trying to figure out what the business is. So they looking at me like, man, this us, man. We just talking trash. That's what we do, plan, but we talking trash. I'm like, well, okay, I'm just letting you know. You know what I'm saying? Say, come on, Bank, that's between us, man. I said, well, yeah, if it's between y'all, I'm letting you know it's between me too. Just setting the pace and letting dudes know what it is. And like I say, it's very rare that you're going to meet somebody in prison like that y'all got such a strong brotherhood that when it's time to go to war, y'all going to war. More so if you know for a fact that the dude that you cool with is going to go to war. Because you got some dudes that they'll be pump faking all the way up until that decisive moment, and then when something jump off, you realize you there by yourself. And I done seen it. I mean, I done seen it to a degree of betrayal that you wouldn't even believe. I done seen dudes be together every day. They gamble together, they eat together, they take care of bills together. You could go to one and get paid from what somebody else they's like. But when it came down to that Bethlehem in play, when it came down to that Bethlehem, man, that's what he did. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Yeah, turn just like that. Just like that. I ain't call no names, but a lot of y'all out there, if y'all know, yeah, dudes that you see, you think friends. Now, when it come down to life or death, man, they going the other way. I never, ever, me and him still cool to this day, Dixon. Just talked to him day before yesterday. I never, ever once, since I was friends with him, ever felt like, and we've been in a lot, and when I tell you a lot of situations that could have ended in life or death, I never not once hesitated to know that no matter what the odds was or no matter what we was up against, that he had my back 100%. 100%. Even if death on the table, 100%. And for that type of loyalty, you rarely ever find. And vice versa with me, he could have been wrong. In whatever the situation may have been, he could have been dead wrong. But if it came down to me, whether I was going to back him or not, 100%. 100%. So that's that's just a testament to, like I say, our friendship and brotherhood, man, because you rarely ever find that in prison. It's there, but it's few and far in between. But yeah, I can remember little incidents like that, man. But one of the things that ended up keeping us, at one point in time, they had, me and him was cell partners in different spots, in different locations. So, when you find somebody you cool with, you try to stay around them if possible. But we have been in blocks together, been on compounds together, not even been cell partners. But, when the doors open, the yard open or whatever, that's who you call your walking partner or dude that you usually be with the most. More than likely we'll be interact, because we did most of the same things, like I say, in the sports, talk trash, I did a lot of gambling at the time. He didn't do a lot of gambling, he didn't do a lot of gambling. He used to really get it mad at me and chip off me about gambling, because that gambling boy, his basketball games brought a lot of problems for him. The gambling brought a lot of problems with me. I might gamble, man, and I would get him involved, man, when I was, doing my doing all of my larceny stuff. If you get to losing or something like that, and you get to betting with stuff you don't have, and man, I'd have pulled all types of schemes and stuff, man. When I was in my larceny days, I might be gambling at the table and lose the money, and we outside, and dude say you got to go get the money, but I'm like, I call him and tell him, man, look, go get that money I got in the sale, bring that down here, and then the dude will give me the money, seeing me tell him that, thinking he going to get the money. It ain't no money up there, you know what I'm saying? But he knew. But and I'm just hoping that I get back, in the game before it come time to pay that money. If I don't get back, then it is what it is. I'm ready to rumble and go to war. And by me telling him, he know that he need to be on point too, because that's what might happen. But yeah, that was the crazy days. Those were my crazy years. When you living like you bulletproof, because you don't think you're going to get out, and you really don't, you really ain't got that consciousness of, bro, you playing some life and death games. You know, whether you had to kill or be killed, these are really life and death games because dudes ain't playing with that money in penitentiary. That's one thing you could be sure of. So, you know, yeah, little things like that. We done had little incidents and stuff like that, man, where it done got real dicey, you know, and that Bethlehem came into play, you know, it came into play. So, yeah, little situations like that, but all that type of stuff, like I said, it built our bond, made us stronger, you know what I'm saying, as far as our brotherhood, knowing that no matter what the situation was, you know, he got my back and vice versa, I got his back, you know. But other than that, more so, like I say, me, I probably was the one but he got in a lot of stuff because of that basketball. And especially when you good in basketball and you running your mouth, when you letting somebody know you good, dudes will get irritated with that. As far as with me, like I said, the gambling, man, you know, I might get in sometime and I might pull stunts. Or I might lose and got the money, man, and really just don't even want to pay it, you know, because it might cost me all my money. And I'm like, I ain't getting my last money to nobody, you know what I'm saying? So, which is wrong, but early in my bit, that's the type of, you know, situations I used to be in, whereas it came to a point where some dudes wouldn't even let me get in their game. You know, they wouldn't even want me to play unless I actually had my money right there to give to them. They won't go on for it. They won't go on for it. So, you know, but I can remember, like, one time, one of the biggest incidents that we got into, that was real serious. And I mean, when I'm talking serious, I mean serious. I can remember it was a dude that came on the compound. And he was a huge dude, man. I mean, a huge dude. Big white guy, man. He probably was like 6'8", 6'9", big dude, close to 300-400 pounds. And he had a big case. He had a case that was in the newspaper and stuff. I never really read the newspaper a lot when I was in there. I never really, you know, saw no need. I wasn't out there. I wasn't trying to have that stuff cloud my mind. I ain't read the newspaper or watch the news like that. Probably my entire bit. But I can remember a lot of other people did. They made it their business to read newspapers every morning. Some dudes ordered newspapers, had newspapers, you know, subscriptions and whatnot. I never got into that. But with that being said, a lot of dudes knew incidents or big news stories. So a lot of people knew about this dude situation. He was supposed to have been some dude that had killed like a little baby. And he was a white guy. And he killed like a little black girl, man, on some racist stuff. And I think the girl was like, definitely, I think, if I remember correctly, under 10. And he put her like in a trash bag and stuff and threw her in a dumpster. So it was a big case. And he ended up being on our compound and actually in the block with us. And, you know, it was known that he was a racist, but he was so big and he was boisterous about, yeah, you know, I know people know what I did and better leave me alone because I'm not going for nothing. There's no one going to do anything to me. You know, my case is my case and no one's going to... He was that type of guy, right? So I knew dudes probably wanted to get at him. And at the same time, but, you know, like I say, when you make that type of moves, you sacrifice yourself too, because whatever you do, you can pay for it. That's just how it is, period. You know, right, wrong, or indifferent. You're going to pay for it, you know. So I can remember we went in the kitchen one day. I didn't say nothing to him. And I don't think, you know, Dixon ain't saying stuff to him either. Most dudes just avoid him and he stayed to himself. But, you know, I had heard that he pop off at the mouth sometime. And this particular day, we in the kitchen, and you go through the line in the kitchen to get your food. So we in the line to go get our food and everything, and he had already been through the line, and when you come through the line, you got to find your place to sit, and you sit whatever chairs is open and stuff. So this particular time, I guess most of the tables was filled up, and he had already set his tray at a table. And I guess he left to go get something to drink. You got to go get something to drink at a machine they had back then. They had juice and water or whatever in there. So he must have set his table down, set his tray down, and went to get something to drink. When Dixon had came through, and Dixon had set his tray down, because he only see one tray right there, he set his tray down to go get something to drink. So then when I'm coming through, I asked him where we sitting at, where your tray at. He said right there. So as I'm going over there to sit down, the big white dude come back and he come to the table. So when I see him coming and sit at the same table, I'm like, you know, nah, I ain't sitting with him. Most definitely I ain't sitting with him. So Dixon coming back too, and Dixon see him, and Dixon, like I told you in the beginning, he don't bite his tongue. Dixon like, oh, no, no, man, we ain't sitting here with him, you know. So he would go to grab our tray, so he get loud. What? What do you say? I don't care, man. I don't want y'all sitting with me anyway. I don't care if no one wants to sit with me. I don't care. Y'all understand? I told you no one's gonna mess with me. I'm not scared of anyone. All this just super crazy stuff. So we looking at Dixon ready to give him the business right there, you know. Like, man, who you talking to? He said, I'm talking to y'all and anybody. You know, and I'm like, man, come on, man. Don't worry, man. He's a fool. Don't even, you know, he gonna get us in trouble. He gotta come back to the block. Don't worry, we'll see him when we get back to the block. He was like, I don't care, I heard you. You're not gonna do anything to me. It's like, all right, okay, brother, all right. Because all of that doing is just drawing heat, mess around, get us locked up, get us, you know, in a bind, and ain't even nothing ever happened because you'll spook the police. So I'm like, man, don't worry about it, man. Come on, man. We see him. He got to come back to that building. We're going to see if he got that same mouth when he come back to the building. So Dixon mad as I don't know what. I'm mad as I don't know what. We going back to the building, and we getting it straight right then and there. I'm asking him, I was like, man, listen, this thing get ready to get serious. Now I'm like, you want to let it go or you want to get him? You know what I'm saying? That's up to you. You want to let him go or you want to get him? So, man, shoot. Yeah. You know, it was a hell of a dilemma because, like I say, everything you do, you gonna pay the consequences for. And you can't be playing because you ain't mess around, be playing or half step, and you be the one end up late. So I looked at him. I said, "You show, man. Tell me what you want to do. You want to let it go or you want to get him?" Man, he looked me right dead in the eye and said, "Let's get him."
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.